We are rolling in Pembroke.
I'm here at Algonquin College in Pembroke with TSN's hockey insider, Bob McKenzie. Now, Bob, this is your first time in Pembroke, right?
Correct.
What are your first impressions of its kind of self-proclaimed hockey town in Canada?
Well, I don't know if there's any question about that. I mean, when I was a younger guy growing up, I mean, everybody remembers Brian Murray coaching the Pembroke Lumber Kings and Centennial Cups and being well known across Canada and playing a real tough, exciting brand of hockey. So, to be able to come in here and see the rink, and it's great.
Now, your first book was about being a hockey parent. What can people expect from your new book?
Well, I think this book it's more stories about the National Hockey League, or at least people that are involved in the National Hockey League have some connection to the game. The first book I did was really sort of a first-person story about me. This book's not about me, but it's about the things that I find interesting. A lot of values, family, life and death, and how we view those things. A lot of universal themes, but all set against the backdrop of some pretty high-profile hockey people.
Now, for those of you that follow the Sheldon Keefe story, you touch on him a little bit in your book. What can people expect to hear from that storyline?
Well, I think a lot of people obviously in Pembroke probably know the story of Sheldon, and it's a great story of redemption, a guy who had done some things in his life that he'd maybe want to take back, or if not take back, at least make good on. And he's obviously done a tremendous job, as hockey fans know, the job that he did with the Lumber Kings. The fact that he went to Sault Ste. Marie and in very short order did a great job in the Ontario Hockey League and now coaching professionally. So there's no doubt in my mind that Sheldon Keefe's going to be a head coach in the National Hockey League. He's a talented guy, and his story is a fascinating one.
See, I was just going to ask you, where do you think he's going next? But you think National Hockey League?
Well, I don't think there's any question. Might he be an assistant coach in the NHL first? That's a possibility. But to be a head coach in the American Hockey League now, probably at some point when he first came to Pembroke, I'm sure for him to envision what he's doing now is beyond his wildest dreams. But now I think he recognizes that he is on that path.
That's perfect. So you obviously talked to a lot of colleges and young people. What was it like talking to people today?
Oh, it's terrific. It's always nice to get out and get to a town like Pembroke where people love hockey and love to talk about hockey and hear the stories. And there's obviously great passion here, and it's great to come out and talk to young people at school too, who've got their whole life ahead of them, and they're looking for information not only on hockey but the business, the communications business, media, all those things.
And now, you probably never imagined that you would be this big of a hockey icon. You've got over 1 million followers on Twitter. How does that feel? You come from a humble beginning, and now...
I still try to stay humble, and it's easy to stay humble in this business. The Twitter thing's interesting, but I mean, it's not from trying to go out and get people. I mean, if you tweet news, people want to know what the news and information is, and I guess that's I decided fairly early in my career that I wasn't going to try to have any gimmicks. I wasn't a big opinion guy. I was more interested in trying to find out what was going on somewhere and tell people about it first.
Perfect. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, Bob. If you didn't catch Bob at the college today, you can always watch In Conversation with Bob McKenzie, featuring our lovely host, Jamie Bramberger, on TV Cogeco.